Well, hello. January 2nd. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you had a great Christmas with your families and all that stuff. But I'm just in here putting some stuff away from the hunting season. And just a bit of a rundown. I will tell the story at the end of this video about my little mishap with a deer we called Wide Load. And it was quite the deal. And I'm constantly learning. I've only been hunting for this would be my fourth year, and this was a learning experience that it was not a good one. It was, but it was a bad one. But anyways, we'll get to that. I'm just gonna run in, have some lunch with Birdie, and then I'll probably have her video me telling that tale. So let's grab some lunch.
Just having some lunch for soup. How do you like your soup, RJ?
It's pretty bitter.
Oh.
How's yours?
Oh, look, we doubled up again.
Yeah. This tag soup really sucks.
It certainly does.
You've had it before, though.
Careful, RJ. Karma gets you every time.
I've never had this soup before, but I can assure you it's pretty crappy.
It is. Oh, well, it was a great hunting season.
Sucks.
It sucks.
How many times did you hunt?
Maybe 40 times.
40 times. Morning and night for like 2.5 weeks straight. I sat, I'd say at least 40 times.
So there.
So much so that it was the first time since I've been hunting that I wasn't tagged out before Birdie was laid off from the marina. So at that point, we both could hunt.
Right.
So we had to get a second bow. So we went and bought a second bow, set up another spot to go and hunt, and it still didn't come together.
Still didn't come together. We have our theories, but
yeah,
who knows, right? We figured there was no snow. They had tons of food everywhere else except for our locations. So who knows?
But it's nice to get out. With everything going on, it's nice to just sit in the bush for a few hours every day just to kind of forget about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did have a close encounter. Probably.
Oh, is this up there with the fish stories?
This is no fish story. This is bad. So, December 1st.
Yes, it was early
so
December.
Tuesday morning, again, my first morning sit of the year. This deer that we had coming in fairly regularly, that you called him Wide Load.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever got a perfect picture of him, but I think he was either 10 or 12 and wide.
I think it was a big 12.
Yeah, like wider than, like the edge of his rack had to be close to a foot from his ear. Like it was so wide. So anyways, we had this deer coming in all at night. Everything was at night all year long. Pretty well, I think there was maybe 6 opportunities through the whole season there. The camera showed them there in daylight. So it was tough for whatever reason, but
some just after somebody had to leave the stand because he
had to
run.
We won't talk about it. So anyways, this Tuesday morning I get out and it's legal light was 6:53. It was like 6:20. I got out in the dark. I got up in the stand. I'm sitting there chilling out. It was a beautiful morning. It was kind of misty. It wasn't raining, but misty. And I settled in. I looked at my phone. It was 6:45. I'm like, okay, I got 10 minutes to before legal light, and so I'm just kind of chilling. And then within that time period, legal light had came, and literally within a minute of 6:53, this deer walked out almost from behind me, and I just saw movement to my left, and I kind of looked down and saw a big body deer, and then I looked at its rack. And I almost had to go again.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I looked at its rack, and I literally looked down and kind of looked to the right and went, "You got to be kidding me that this is happening again!" Like, it was total BS that this deer just walked out in front of me at that point. So, and we had already talked about it that I was not to shoot that deer; that it was going to be Birdie's deer. And I said, "Well, I think if that deer comes out, I think I'm going to deal with the consequences if I do shoot that deer." It was going to be, it might have been cold shoulder for a couple of weeks if that had happened. Weeks. Yeah, months. So anyways, the deer comes out. He comes around behind 4 trees, and he comes out, and now he's at the pile, and he's eating the corn, and he's eating whatever. And but he's face on to me or he's quartering to me. So I have no shot. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't, okay, I just have to be patient. By this time, I have so much time that I'm able to calm down a little bit and I'm able to kind of gather myself and I'm like, okay, this is kind of exactly what the big one did last year. I just have to wait until he goes to leave because then he's going to turn. So I'm sitting there and I had so much time. Like, I bet you that deer was there at least 10 minutes. And this is at 15, 18 yards, like really close. And I had so much time that I was literally looking at the deer through my scope thinking, okay, I can't shoot. Can I shoot him in the neck? No, I can't shoot him in the neck. Can I shoot him in the spine? No, I'm not gonna. I just have to be patient. Just be patient that I'm gonna get that opportunity. Then I had more time to think about, okay, well, who's gonna be home? Well, by the time this happened, Birdie's gonna be gone to work. Bill's probably at home. I can call. Oh, maybe Eric, the neighbor's around. I had this much time to think about how I was gonna deal with this deer once I had shot it. It was ridiculous how much time I had. And then, for whatever reason, what crept into my mind next was the most ridiculous thing I've ever had happen to me. I started to wonder and question myself whether I'd turn the safety off on the crossbow, which is so stupid. Because when you come in after hunting with the bow, you know, I've done it 150 times that to uncock the bow, you push the safety to be able to fire the safeties up. For whatever reason, I was selling myself that I hadn't turned the safety off on the crossbow. And I moved the safety on the crossbow. Which, as it turns out, I didn't need to. And that's where the story goes really south. So I moved the safety. I'm like, okay, I'm positive I didn't move that safety when the deer came in, which I've learned from her, as soon as you see a deer you can shoot, you turn the safety off. Which I did. So, but I had so much time and so rattled and call it buck fever. I could not think straight to know which was up and down. And so I turn around, I put the dot back on his shoulder and I'm like, okay, we're good to go. And 10 seconds later, that deer turned, gave me the perfect broadside shot. I pulled the trigger and the effing safety was on. I quickly thumbed the safety up, looked back down the scope, and all I saw was his tail as he was walking away from me. And these giant satellite dishes of antlers walking into the bush and gone.
We saw him once after that.
2 weeks to the day, he came back after one night, and he never came back again.
We never saw. I don't think we saw any bucks after.
No. It was December 15th. We had a bunch of bucks on the camera one night, but there was a bunch of snow on the ground, so they all kind of piled in on us. So That's kind of our snow theory excuse as to why we just didn't have a lot of activity. But anyways, so that's what happened with that deer. And in hindsight, I was bummed and I called probably the best kind of hunters that I know and told them what happened. And the one guy, Clancy Mulvihill, kind of reassured me that he's like, literally, dude, I'm proud of you that you didn't take the shot. He goes, most people would have taken a bad shot at that deer and never found it, wounded it, never found it, because I've seen her kill so many deer that I'm just like, shoot, and then no, she waits until she knows it's going to be a perfect shot, quick kill, and it's done. And in hindsight, I am proud that I didn't take that shot.
Right.
But I'm also pissed that I didn't take that shot. Because I may never see a deer like that again.
I'm proud that you didn't take that shot.
It would have been, I didn't have what I needed, and when I did get what I needed, some jackass turned the safety back on this crossbow. So, live and learn. I know which way the safety is now.
Yeah.
I know which way it is. So that's the story of Wide Load, and we're here enjoying our tag soup for 2020. To the guys that did get a deer, congratulations. To the guys that didn't, I hope you're enjoying your soup. Time to do some ice fishing, I guess.
Or gear up for how many days do we have until October 1st?
Lots of days. So, all right, thanks. Have a great week.
Stay safe.